Hello, my name's Grizz, and I'm a Soulsaholic. Because before I even came to this meeting today, I chugged my way through the full From Software 6-pack. We're talking Demon Souls, 3 Dark Souls, a Bloodborne, and most recently I sculled a Sekiro. They weren't enough to quench my addiction though, so I started guzzling all the Me Too titles that have popped up in this subgenre as well. I've smashed out 2 Surges, and just before I got here, I chased that all down with my second Nioh title. That being said, I think I'm in a pretty unique position to tell you that this is a very intoxicating sequel. Now before we get any further, I always like to give my audience some options. So in the description, I've got a link to the first 6 hours of this game. 4K quality, 0 commentary, no Aussie man chewing your ears off. So if that's the way you want to go, by all means go that way. For those of you that are still here, man, I gotta tell you, Nioh 2 feels like coming home to classic Souls again. And before you get too excited or angry about that particular statement, know that this franchise still retains what made it unique in the first place. Namely, a spelled out narrative, standalone missions versus one big interconnected world, randomized Diablo-esque loot, and some key enhanced combat that actually leans closer to Bloodborne more than anything. I guess I'm talking from the perspective of somebody who just came fresh from Sekiro, a From title that took a very different take on action RPGs. If you didn't have a chance to play it, it basically grapple hooked off onto this hyper-aggressive jumpy tangent, which, for me, sort of makes Nioh 2, I don't know, just more grounded again. It's nice to be back. So what's changed from 2017's Nioh to this? Well, for starters, they've corrected one of the most bemoaned decisions of the original. In this prequel tale, you're not lumped with a one-size-fits-all hero called William, who was like Tom Cruise's Nathan Algren. This time around, you've got a character creator, and what an insanely powerful one it is too. You could honestly spend hours tweaking the manscape or the max factor of your avatar here. Also, this being a Team Ninja game, you don't even need to ask if there's a chest slider. You can just assume. While we're keeping you abreast of the bountiful choices available, you should know that the already large weapon pool of Nioh has expanded a little more since last time. Before you jump into feudal Japan proper, you're asked to scoop up 2 attitude adjusters that you prefer. Once again, you'll be working with swords, dual swords, spears, axes, and kusarigamas, which I've probably mispronounced. Plus, you get a small array of projectile weapons that always seem to have bugger all ammo. It's also important to note that Nioh's DLC run also bolted on Odachis and Tonfa, which show up for free here as well. Actual, bona fide new additions include some hatchets that are these great little nip-in and grapple solutions, and switchglaives, transformable scythes that align with magic and are really good for reaping back your health. I'd honestly hoped for more new toys to play with here, but to be fair, I just stuck with my go-to anyway. Just a sword that's big enough to be God's own letter opener. What can I tell you? She gets the job done. Obviously, all weapon use is bound to a stamina meter once again, but newbies will need to wrap their heads around a key pulse technique that can make you less puffed out. All you need to do is tap R1 when you stop swinging, and it has to be in time with this little blue swirl animation. So basically your choice after a button mash is still, should I go for a key pulse to go full KFC on this dude and make him eat an 8-piece combo? Or might I be better served if I just parry or turtle up? Then again, would it be best for me to go evasive by getting dodgier than Saul Goodman? Whichever course you take, Nioh 2's enemies are going to do a great job of keeping the answer to that ambiguous. Even after double-digit hours of play, you can still get wrong-footed, particularly from grunts with a bee's dick of health who go into this berserker grapple mode. Honestly, you're just going to have to respect everything in this game, or you're going to cop it, mate. It's also worth noting that the weapon familiarity system returns too. And essentially that is, the higher the quality of your pig sticker, the more damage and bonuses you're going to get if you pig stick with it. You're also encouraged to stay loyal to your weapons via a system of dedicated and quite expansive skill trees that are tied to each armament. Props to Team Ninja for improving the UI in this area. The choices for your personal expansion feel broader this time around, and the little nodule farm approach makes everything much more understandable. Another big change to Nioh 2 is that you're not limited to just swinging pointy things at other things. Being a mixed breed of human and yokai heritage means that you're basically horny 50% of the time. A better explanation is that you're a shapeshifter, with an Amrita gauge that fuels flashy supernatural attacks, which can be augmented by a variety of unlockable animal spirits. Better yet, an engorged Amrita gauge also allows you to increase the stats of various weapons and add extra buffs, such as staggering foes and grappling downed enemies. Essentially, you can harvest and combine the souls of any mid-boss yokai you defeat, then co-opt their signature moves into a special attack that you can access on R2 plus square or R2 plus triangle. And while we're on the shoulder buttons, you can also parry any of these sort of obviously telegraphed burst attacks that they throw at you, simply by tapping R2 plus circle. When you kill enough beasties to make your yokai meter ding full, you can trigger a fleeting beast, feral, or phantom form. And those essentially translate into can't be staggered and has an offensive parry form, dodges and combos hyperactively form, and lobs really painful things from a postcode away form. They're all fun, and I think there's something here for every tactical taste. But more importantly, they're not cheap. Earning the right to use them, preferably on a boss, takes skill and consistency. They are by no means a win button. And of course we can't talk yokai without mentioning the new yokai areas in the map. In Nioh, you had to contend with these pools of residual bad vibe energy that served as area of denial hazards, until you used a key pulse to do the old clean up on aisle 3. Those bastards return, but this time there are these large, colour desaturated neighbourhoods in a level that will limit your abilities until you eliminate the freak or fancy statue that's projecting all of that effed up feng shui. And you know what? I think the environments in general are packed with more foes and sneakier ambushes than Nioh. I mean, at one point the goddamn walls started trying to kill me. On the whole, the level designs are more creative and vertical. That said, I felt that Team Ninja's shortcut game just still isn't on par with From Software yet. There's none of those lovely eureka moments when you discover a sneaky loop back to the safety of an old shrine. It's simply, oh yeah, I expected to be a gate there, and there it is. It also has to be said that while Nioh certainly wasn't an ugly game, the visual evolution from that title to this isn't going to blow your hair back. Be all those minor disappointments as they may, I still find it hard to put Nioh 2 down much. Actually, literally too. Now that the campaign is dusted, I'm thoroughly addicted to the online co-op, where you and a bunch of randos just gear up and go ham on a mission. It's so much fun. The bottom line is this: Nioh 2 I don't think is a huge reinvention, but it sure is a damn solid sequel. I can see myself happily regrinding through it before DLC season hits. I'll probably be mastering more weapons, and hoping the loot gods favour me with some fully sick ninja armour. That, and because I'm something of a masochist, I might even try to foolishly beat this all over again, with nothing but a wooden sword and a kendo attitude. Either way, I can see that Nioh 2 has carved out a space on my hard drive, and it's going to be there for months.